From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is off on a 5-day visit to Europe, starting with a funeral for the Aga Khan, before an AI summit in Paris and a stop in Brussels.
Experts say Trudeau's attendance at the international meeting on artificial intelligence is a chance to showcase Canadian leadership in AI governance. The Prime Minister will follow that with a trip to Brussels for meetings with European Union leaders. This may be a chance for Canada and the European Union to boost ties, as both grapple with the threat of tariffs from the United States. Anya Caradeglia, Canadian Press, Ottawa.
Now on to the campaign trail in Ontario, where Green Party leader Mike Schreiner says victory for his party in the upcoming election will mean holding on to their 2 seats and growing their caucus. To do that, he says the party has focused their resources on some key ridings where they see themselves being able to make a breakthrough.
And we build from the bottom up, and that's what people power looks like, and that's what it's going to take to implement the kinds of policy changes we need in Ontario to put people over profits and to build a fairer province.
Schreiner says he's hoping for a breakthrough in Parry Sound, Muskoka, where the Green candidate was a close runner-up in the last election. The Alberta Surgical Group says claims of political interference by provincial officials are false. A recent report from the Globe and Mail says the former head of the Alberta Health Services was subject to pressure by various provincial officials to sign off on contracts for private surgical facilities, despite concerns over how much was being paid and who was benefiting. A statement from the group says it looks forward to working with the province's independent Auditor General to dispel any concerns. On to the international stage now, where Israel says they've received the 3 hostages released by Hamas today as part of the Gaza ceasefire deal. With bittersweet emotion, Jillian and Pete Brisley watched the handover of their son-in-law, Eli Sharabi, from their home in Britain. They say they were thrilled that he was finally free, but horrified by his fragile physical condition. Earlier, his family said they didn't know whether Sharabi had been told that his wife and 2 teenage daughters were killed in the initial Hamas attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. Meanwhile, Israel has begun releasing dozens of Palestinian prisoners in the latest exchange. And finally, the Puppy Bowl is set to air tomorrow ahead of the Super Bowl. Puppy Bowl referee Dan Schachner describes how big this year's event is compared to previous years.
This year we've got 142 dogs. It's the most amount ever. And we've got a huge amount of cats in the kitty halftime show. We have got 80 different shelters being represented, and we have got, 11 special needs dogs.
The Puppy Bowl was filmed in advance and premieres tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern on Animal Planet. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, there were 5 games on the NHL schedule last night. The Jets topped the New York Islanders 4-3. The Avalanche overcame Edmonton 5-4. The Penguins got by the other New York team, that'd be the Rangers, 3-2. The Blackhawks soared over Nashville 6-2, and the Kings took Dallas to overtime before getting the 5-4 win. Over to the National Basketball Association, where newly acquired Toronto Raptor Brandon Ingram was with the team but didn't play in the 121-109 loss at the hands of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Elsewhere in the league, Cleveland, Charlotte, Atlanta, Brooklyn, Detroit, Phoenix, they all posted wins. And finally, if you're still hoping to attend the Super Bowl on Sunday, you can expect a price drop when compared to last year. The entry-level price for a ticket is currently around $2,600 US. That's according to a StubHub representative. It seems last year's Vegas location was a bit of an exception. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.